Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pradeep Reddy, Associate Professor, SAGE University, Bhopal. Today in this video, I would like to bring you about financial derivatives, what actually derivatives are, who are the traders in derivatives markets, and what are the different types of exchange traded derivatives. Let us see in this video and have more view about derivatives and what is the use of derivatives. So, what are derivatives? A derivative is a financial instrument whose value is derived from the value of another asset, which is known as the underlying. So what is this underlying asset? It can be a share, it can be a bond, it can be a debenture, it can be a gold unit, it can be a metal. See, anything that is a financial instrument can be taken as an underlying asset. So when the price of the underlying changes, according to that, the value of the derivative also changes. So that's why investors are interested in this derivatives market. So even commodities like rice, wheat, bajra, pulses also come under derivatives market. So that's why even now when we are purchasing nowadays today, oil, edible oil also comes under this derivatives market, and hence the prices of these oils also change respective. So hence a derivative is not a product, it is a contract that derives its value from changes in the price of the underlying asset. So that's why, for example, the value of a gold futures contract is derived from the value of the underlying asset, that is the gold. So that's why the value of the gold futures is derived from the value of its underlying asset, and hence it is an example of a derivative contract. So now let us see who are the traders in derivatives market. So generally there are three types of traders in a derivatives market. One is the hedger, and the other one is the speculator, and the other one is the arbitrator. So what does a hedger do? A hedger is someone who faces a risk associated with the price movement of an asset and who uses a derivatives as means of reducing risk. They provide economic balance to the market. Hence, as we all know that hedger is a person who always tries to reduce risk by overlapping the stocks that he purchases and sells in the markets without any risk. So hence, these hedges will be providing an economic balance to the market because the investor should not be faced with any risk. And the other one is the speculator, a trader who enters this futures market for pursuit of profits, accepting a risk in the endeavor, and they provide a liquidity and a depth to the market. So as we know that who is a speculator? A speculator is a person who buys and sells these derivatives instruments, and he pursues of profits because a speculator is a person who always tries to look into profits of the transactions and hence providing liquidity and depth to the market. And now let us see the arbitrage. So a person who simultaneously enters into transactions in two or more markets to take advantage of the discrepancies between prices in these markets. So an arbitrage involves making profits from relative mispricing, because he will be a person who will be entering and purchasing the contracts and entering into the contract in one market and the seeing about the prices changes, variations in another market and making profit out of it and selling the same contracts in other markets. So arbitrages also help to make markets liquid, ensure accurate and uniform pricing, and enhance price stability. So they help in bringing about price uniformity and discovery, so that they can make a transaction profitable. So in this way, arbitrager deals with the financial derivatives contracts. So now let us see what is over the counter and exchange traded contracts or derivatives. So over the counter or off exchange trading is to trade financial instruments such as stocks, bonds, commodities, or derivatives directly between two parties without going through an exchange or other intermediary. So the best example for the over the counter exchange contracts are the forward contracts. So here two parties will be entering into the contract and there is no need of going through this transaction through an exchange. So they will be entering directly and they will be performing the contracts for which the instrument in which instrument they have entered into it. And the contracts between the two parties are privately negotiated and the contract can be tailor-made to the two parties liking, and over the counter markets are uncontrolled and unregulated and have very few laws. It's more like a free fall because since there are no conditions and there are no likings and they are tailor-made contracts and hence they are unregulated and hence they are like a free fall. Whenever the parties wish to enter into contract, they will be entering, and based on the performance of the contracts, you're also very less in these contracts. And the other one is the exchange traded derivatives. So what is an exchange traded derivative contract is, these are the derivatives instruments that are traded through specialized derivative exchange or exchanges. So a derivative exchange is a market where individuals trade standardized contracts that have been defined by the exchange, because according to the rules and regulations of the exchange, we have to perform the contracts either in entering in or in performing in the contracts. So the word itself, exchange traded derivatives, explains us how transactions will take place in these derivatives. And the world's largest derivatives exchanges by number of transactions are the Korean exchanges. And there is a very visible and transparent market price for the derivatives in these exchange traded derivatives. Okay, and now let us see the economic benefits of derivatives. So the first one is the reduces risk. Second one is enhance liquidity of the underlying asset. Third one is the lower transaction cost, enhances the liquidity of the underlying asset, enhances the price discovery process and portfolio management, and provides signals of market movements and facilitates financial markets integration. So these are the economic benefits of derivatives, that is reduces risk automatically when we enter into a contract. For what purpose we are entering into contract? It reduces the risk and enhances liquidity of the underlying asset, as like we sell shares and bonds and make a very peaceful atmosphere. And here also in derivatives, we can sell these derivatives instruments according to the value of it and lower transaction cost, because the parties that are being traded in these markets are also day by day increasing. Hence, the exchanges are also lowering the transaction cost and enhances liquidity of the underlying asset and enhances the price discovery process, and portfolio management can be maintained in these markets also by purchasing the contracts and provide signals of market movements priorly itself and facilitates financial markets integration, so that a normal investor also can find whether the market is feasible or not. So I hope all of you might have understood about the introduction of these derivatives and the types of traders in the markets and the economic benefits that we derived from the derivatives. In my next video, I will be explaining you about what is a forward contract, what is a futures contract, what are the different types of options that we are having, and let us see in this one. Bye bye everyone. Thank you.